January 7th, 1945. The Ardennes forest is buried under snow. Not inches, feet. Roads vanish, vehicles freeze, men dig foxholes into ice. Weeks earlier, the German army launched a surprise offensive, the Battle of the Bulge. It nearly shattered the American front. Now, the fighting is slowing. The crisis has passed. Inside a British press tent, journalists gather for a briefing. Cameras click. Not because the war is over, but because someone wants credit. At the center of the tent stands Field Marshal Bernard Law Montgomery. His uniform is immaculate. His posture is theatrical. And on his face is a smile. Not relief, not exhaustion, confidence. Montgomery begins to speak. He describes the German offensive as interesting. He calls it a tricky situation. He speaks slowly, carefully. He explains how the front was stabilized, how order was restored, how disaster was avoided. And again, he uses the same word, I. I made decisions. I took control. I corrected mistakes. American troops are mentioned, but only as supporting characters, learners, followers. The implication is clear. Without Montgomery, the front would have collapsed. The press writes furiously. But not everyone is listening with admiration. 300 meters away, in a quiet command room, Dwight D. Eisenhower reads the transcript. He does not raise his voice. He does not throw the paper. He simply reads, line by line. For 3 years, Eisenhower has done the impossible. He has held together the most fragile alliance in modern history. British pride, American power, French resentment, egos large enough to derail the war. Eisenhower absorbed it all. He mediated, he compromised, he kept the peace. Not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. Now, he sees something different. Montgomery is not just boasting, he is rewriting the story, a story written in American blood. Eisenhower understands the danger immediately. If this narrative spreads, the Allies fracture, trust evaporates, unity collapses. And unity is the only reason the Allies are winning. Eisenhower sets the transcript down. His face remains calm, but his patience is gone. Eisenhower and Montgomery were never friends. They were opposites. Eisenhower believed war was collective, a system of cooperation, planning, logistics, shared responsibility. Montgomery believed war was personal, a stage, a test of brilliance. He prepared meticulously. He delayed until conditions were perfect. And when victory came, he made sure the spotlight followed. Montgomery viewed American commanders as reckless, overconfident, unrefined. Eisenhower viewed British caution as rigidity, slow, outdated. For a time, their differences balanced each other. But by 1944, everything changed. American production exploded. American armies multiplied. American casualties soared. Power shifted, and Montgomery did not like it.
December 16, 1944. Before dawn, the German army attacks. Panzer divisions surge through the Ardennes. Snow muffles movement. American units are scattered. Communication lines snap. Entire regiments vanish into the fog. The front bends, then breaks. Panic spreads. Eisenhower faces a nightmare scenario. If the Germans reach Antwerp, the Allied supply system collapses. He needs time, he needs order, and he needs someone who can command Northern forces immediately. Eisenhower makes a decision that will haunt the alliance. He places American armies under Montgomery's temporary control. It is a military necessity, but a political risk. Montgomery accepts with enthusiasm. Montgomery arrives at the front. He surveys the chaos. He shakes his head. American plans are dismissed. American commanders are corrected. American defenses are reorganized. In some cases, he is right. The front stabilizes. German momentum slows. Lives are saved. But the cost is invisible. Montgomery lectures exhausted officers. He speaks publicly, often, always placing himself at the center. I cleaned up the situation. I restored order. American generals hear the message clearly. They are subordinates, temporary ones, but subordinates nonetheless. Resentment grows, silently, dangerously. Then comes the press conference. Montgomery could have shared credit. He could have praised cooperation. He could have emphasized unity. He does none of it. Instead, he claims the victory, publicly, deliberately. The American press reacts instantly. Headlines spread, stories circulate. American soldiers begin asking questions. Who really saved the front? Why are their sacrifices minimized? Eisenhower understands the stakes. This is no longer about pride. It is about legitimacy. If the American public loses confidence, the alliance fractures at home. Eisenhower prepares to act. Eisenhower calls Montgomery privately. No shouting, no insults, just facts. Montgomery refuses to back down. He believes his reputation protects him. Eisenhower realizes there is only one option left. He writes a letter, one sentence. If Montgomery remains in command, I will resign. This is not a threat. Eisenhower means it. He knows Washington will side with him. He knows the war cannot continue without unity. And he knows that sometimes leadership means walking away. The message reaches London. Silence follows. Montgomery is stunned. For the first time, his position is vulnerable. Political pressure mounts. Churchill intervenes, quietly, firmly. Montgomery apologizes, publicly, unconditionally. He retracts his statements. He acknowledges American sacrifice. The crisis passes. The alliance survives. But something is lost. Trust is never fully restored. The war ends months later. Victory is complete. History remembers beaches, tanks, flags. Montgomery remains famous. Eisenhower becomes president. But this moment fades because it is uncomfortable. It reveals that wars are not only fought against enemies. They are fought against ego, against pride, against the temptation to place self above cause. Eisenhower chose restraint, and restraint saved the alliance. History often rewards brilliance, but it survives on character. The Battle of the Bulge was not decided only by snow and steel. It was decided by a man willing to step aside to keep others together. That battle was never given a name. It never received medals. But without it, victory might never have come. This is the Forgotten Front.